Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm sorry about my recent absence. I was dealing with something related to being possessed by a vampiric clown-like entity, but I got that all sorted out now, so it's totally fine, don't worry about that. But I just wanted to make a quick video diary sort of update how things are going, and then also I've got a few secrets to help you change your life, just like to be completely happy in life and like love your life, so stay tuned for those secrets. But firstly I wanted to address something. The thirsty men in my DMs, like, I just wanted to say, you guys, and put this on the record, that the only time that I will sleep with a man in clown makeup is if he's the one in the clown makeup. So stop DMing me about that stuff, guys. It's just kind of weird. And I honestly feel like maybe you guys need some relationship advice if you're at the stage where you're propositioning women on the internet that you haven't actually met. So I am doing this service for you guys that I will be offering free 15-minute consultations for relationship advice. The initial consultation is free for a limited time. So please email me if you're interested about that, because I just feel like some of you guys really need some help. And, you know, I think I'm a bit of a love guru, so I think I could be very willing and able to help you. And also, I'm in a hermetically sealed relationship. Like, I do not cheat, and my boyfriend just got a really cute haircut recently, and he just looked like so handsome. And also he got me this clown nose for my birthday, so he's actually the love of my life. And yeah, it was my birthday recently. That was pretty fun, and I went on vacation, so that's actually the real reason I was away. And the vacation was pretty nice. It was like kind of fun hanging out with people from different walks of life from me. Like, I heard a racial slur that I'd never heard said out loud before, so that was kind of crazy. But the water was nice, except I got bit by a lot of black flies, and that wasn't too nice. And yeah, on my birthday, I'm 24 years old, which is a very, like, apparently auspicious year in, like, Chinese astrology or, like, the zodiac stuff, because it's, like, you're in, like, 12-year cycles, right? So I'm in the second 12-year cycle of my life, and apparently this is gonna be a year where, like, some big changes are happening, and I feel like they kind of are. Like, I've honestly been putting myself out there a little bit more, and then also, like, I threw my first birthday party since I was a little kid, and that went so great. It was honestly really just, like, such a rewarding experience, and because I had this mental block where I was like, I can't have people over at my house, and, like, I don't have friends, right? And then I just kind of got over it, and I was like, I have friends, and I can invite them to my house, and then I did, and it was a great time. So, yeah, that's kind of my advice is, like, I would say, like, it's kind of impressive how much you can grow simply just by thinking about it. Like, just think, you know, I am this thing, and this is not on some law of assumption, whatever, okay? Like, you know, it's trademark, but, like, no, like, anyone can do this. You just have to, like, actually, like, live out your life the way that you want to. So let's get into some of this advice on how to love your life, how to really have the best life ever. Okay, firstly, you have to clean your room. No, and honestly, this is a very underrated life hack, because when you have a messy room, right, your mind will be very messy, and you can't attend to, like, higher level sort of consciousness if you're thinking about, like, these base things, like, I have to do the dishes, I have to sweep the floor, whatever. Like, that's, like, weighing on you subconsciously, and even if you're not actually thinking about it, if you have a messy space, like, it's affecting you. So get your life in order, and, you know, the higher thought processes will fall in order too. And then also, you need to meditate. And, like, this is not to advance any particular ideology where meditation is part of the practice. It's just, you need to sit down without your phone and without some, like, dopamine flooding enrichment of, like, TV or anything. You just need to sit and stare at a wall. And because a lot of people don't actually know what meditation is, here's, like, my experience of what meditation should be. And I'm just gonna give it to you, like, this is how I do it. So you don't have to do it the exact same way, but if you're a little unfamiliar with it, firstly, you need to get a cushion, and you need to put it, like, underneath you so that your hips are raised up higher than your knees. So you could use, like, a throw pillow, or you could get an actual meditation cushion. Like, the real ones are kind of more like maybe like a beanbag sort of texture, like they're firmer, so that makes it a little more comfortable, but you do have to get raised off the ground a little. Like, if you're sitting straight on the floor, it's gonna hurt you. And then, you know, you cross your legs, and you put your left foot above on top and your left hand on top, and you're just gonna sit there in this, like, really upright pose. And the trick is, you don't want to, like, try and counteract the natural curvature of your spine, because your spine is naturally curved. Like, you're trying to go with it, but you're trying to be as upright as possible. Like, so think of it as, like, a balancing act. Like, your spine is like a Jenga tower, so maybe, like, put your shoulders a little back, and that'll help you get into this really straight upright posture. And then you want to be in a kind of, like, brightly lit room, or, like, well lit room. Like, you don't want to be in the dark. Of course, there's certain types of meditation that this will work for. I'm just talking like if you've never meditated before, do it this way. And then, honestly, this is where it kind of differs of like, should you have your eyes closed, half open, or open? I would say, I honestly, for like daily meditation, the thing I get the most value out of is having my eyes open and staring at a fixed point on the wall. But of course, there's definitely meditation where like, if you close your eyes, you'll be experiencing different things. So that kind of varies, and I would recommend doing it first thing in the morning. You can also do it at night, or you can do both, and like 20 minutes at least. People will say like you should start with 5 minutes and work your way up, and it's just like, don't bother with that, okay? Put yourself in 20 minutes. Do at least 20 minutes. And then like also don't like necessarily set a timer to go off. Like don't say I'm setting a timer for 20 minutes and then when it's done I'm gonna like spring up. Like no, like sit as long as you can, and maybe put a stopwatch if you want to like see how much time you're doing it for, and then when you feel like you're done, then you're done, and then check the stopwatch. And it's really interesting because when I'm in my daily meditation, like I feel like I can go like 40 minutes easily, but if I take a break for like a week, like for example if I'm visiting my boyfriend, because I don't really meditate when I'm there, like it can be hard to get back into. Like I'll be sitting there and be like, oh my gosh, 20 minutes is done, and I check and it's like literally 9 minutes. So this is definitely something you have to build up tolerance for, and it's also not fun. Like that is kind of a mistaken idea people have about meditation. They're like, oh, I don't really like it, it's not really fun, I guess it's not really for me. And it's like, that's not the point, right? Like, so anyway, you should really be doing this. I feel like if you're just like a creative person, you're trying to be like focused and you're trying to like get what you want from life, you need some sort of meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it, with no phone. And another trick to being happy in your life, you have to surround yourself with the right type of people, okay? Because this is a very underrated one. I think a lot of people think that having friends is better than having no friends, so they're gonna like hang around with the friends that they have because you need to see other people or you're gonna go insane, which is true to a degree, but you also have to understand that like the company you keep is defining your whole outlook on life and like the activities that you take on a daily basis, right? So if you're hanging out with people who are always on their phones, like you're gonna end up like that too. But if you're hanging around with people who are very creative and like living in the moment, then you're gonna be like that. So you have to get over this hump of like you have no friends, and then you find the right friends that work with your lifestyle. Because I think so many people are scared of giving up the safety net of the people that they already know, even if these people are holding them back. So I would say you really have to just like let that go and understand that there's going to be this transition period of like moving between the friend groups that served you in the past and the new ones that are going to be beneficial to you. Okay, and I wanted to address one criticism that I received recently, which is that I am too self-centered. I think too much about myself. And I thought that this was a really funny one because I can see why this is kind of a common like criticism of like maybe your like narcissism, but I want you to understand that I'm like not a very narcissistic person. I mean, to a degree we all are, especially if you are a heavy user of social media. But I would say that my self-centeredness comes from the desire to really improve myself so that I can better the lives of the people around me, like my loved ones. Like, if you are not focusing on your mental well-being, how are you going to show up for the people around you? Like, if your room is a mess, right? And like you can't get out of bed and you're so depressed, and then something bad happens to like a friend in your life and you need to be there for them, like you literally can't even get out of bed to like go and be there for them. But if you were like really functioning well, mentally well, you could actually maybe do things like cook for them or help them clean their house or that sort of thing. So it's just like being able to like pouring into your cup will help you pour into the cups of others. And then also like if something comes like a roadblock in your path and you're not in a great mental state, like it's going to affect you so much more. Like if you are in this sort of depressed state and something bad happens to you, like that could actually end your life, right? So if you're really like in this like calm, centered state of like knowing who you are and being confident in yourself, and something hits you, like it's still gonna hurt and you might still need to grieve through that event, but it's not gonna like actually end your life like that. So this is the value of putting your mental health first and really focusing on yourself, because I think a lot of people are so avoidant of themselves. Like they're constantly distracting them with things outside of themselves, like entertainment, like watching a movie that has some sort of romance or action because you don't have romance or action in your life, and like trying to fill that void, but it's never going to be the same. Like you're never going to actually reach that fulfillment if you had it in your real life by trying to find it outside of yourself. And I think that this is a very like common problem that I think we all have, and like access to easy entertainment is like a big problem for this. Like, if you were just like on an island with a bunch of other people, you would seek out all the drama you need. Like, you wouldn't need to be watching a TV show of people stranded on an island. You know what I mean? And something so interesting to me is like, okay, ask a sports fan to give you a statistical analysis of some man on TV, and they will go thoroughly year by year of like all this guy's stats. And it's like, how do you know so much? Like, why do you care so much about another person's, like, it's just so weird. And like, similarly, people who watch a lot of reality TV, they'll be like, I don't really like how this person handled the situation in their divorce or whatever. And it's like, why do you care? Like, stop looking at the people on TV and take a look at yourself and the people around you and construct a life that actually gives you some sort of purpose. And like, you know, you can find entertainment in every daily interaction. All right, and here's another tip for being happy and loving your life. All right, you have to realize that everything is important. Because when you're stuck in this cycle of ranking the importance of different things, interactions, or people, like, it is so hard to be living in the moment, because you'll be thinking, like, oh, I have this big job interview coming up, or this like big date, and I need to prepare for it because it's so important. And then the weeks leading up to that, you're bypassing all these other things in your life. Like, you're going to the cashier and you're just like not even making eye contact with them and just like being kind of rude to them because you're like, this doesn't matter. But it's like, when you really learn to like understand that every interaction is important and like put that weight into it, then you'll just get so much more value out of everything. Because when that big important date comes up that you were looking forward to, it's going to be a letdown. It's going to disappoint you because you've built it up to be more important than other things in your life, which simply isn't true. And understanding that everything is important also lets you kind of look at this perspective of like, nothing is that important, and like nothing is actually going to ruin your life. Although you might kind of get into that sort of thought pattern if you're like really deep in it, when you actually step back and look and understand that like nothing can actually harm you in any way that matters, you'll just be able to go through life just a little bit easier and just sort of accept the things that happen to you, like really just going with the flow. So this is something very important, is just to be present in the moment. And I know this sounds like new age nonsense, but this is genuinely what you have to do in order to get anything that you think you want out of life. Like, if you actually want to make the progress in your career and like be this like dream person that you have in your head, you actually really just have to lock in and be in the present, okay? Because dreaming about the future is not going to help you attain it. And I know that the only time that you can really make plans for the future is the present, and there's this kind of strange contradiction about trying to secure a good future for yourself and be your like dream person, but also like being in the present. But you just have to learn to reconcile these things and really utilize the construct of time effectively, because it's like weird when you think about time, right? Like, just don't like forget about everything you know about the construct of time and just be in the present and just like go with the flow of things. Because once you start thinking about time too much, you just get way too paralyzed and you start going in circles. I mean, if you want to write some sort of philosophical book, then go for it. But if you're just going to sit there philosophizing in your room, like literally paralyzed, staring at a wall, thinking about the concept of time, it's over. You're done, buddy. Like, so this is another advice on how to better your life. You need a creative pursuit. And you know, I'm not saying everyone needs to be an artist, okay? But you need to create things. And whether this means the creation of new life, perhaps like having a garden or raising children, or, you know, raising dogs or anything, like, you know, you need to make influence in the world around you. Like, you need to transform things in the world. Like, this is kind of this alchemical sort of thing. Is like, you have a mental picture and you're changing the world, and it needs to be a mental picture that originates inside you, right? Like, it's not something you see on TV and you're replicating it in your life. It needs to be completely like original expression of the soul. And this is like the art that really matters. This is what resonates with people, and this is like the true expression of your spirit. You're not like parroting something or like ideology. Like, this is really like reaching deep inside yourself. And how you can express things creatively, of course, visual arts could be like how you express yourself personally, like how you dress. It could be through music, it could be through writing. And I think that writing is a really important one, because for people who maybe don't see themselves as artistically inclined, I feel like everyone can write, like just using a language, right? Everyone has a language. Or perhaps like even like if you're doing like in a sign language or something like that, like you could be a mime. You have these skills to create things and create change in the world, and you should be using them because this is how you get over those issues. Like, for example, if you're fantasizing about someone that you've never met and they're living in your head rent-free, and, you know, maybe like you're getting obsessively weird over girls on the internet that you've never met, right? Like, this is how you solve that problem, is by doing a creative pursuit that is really authentic. Is like when your mind is occupied in these creative endeavors, you won't be thinking about all that stuff, because what that stuff is trying to tell you, it's like it's trying to tell you to create, really. And I would say this is especially true for women. For women, if you find yourself ruminating a lot, like just go make a dang drawing or like go garden. But I mean, it's probably true for men too. I just can't really speak for them because I don't really. I'm more interested in concepts of animus possession than the anima. Just, you know, obviously from my own perspective. And this is another advice on how to improve your life. Get a danged hobby, and like a real hobby, okay? I don't just mean like participating in like mass culture and like, you know, just so you can be there for those discussions where everyone is like talking about something and you don't want to feel like you're missing out because you don't know who all these people are on TV that they're talking about. I mean like a hobby that actually interests you. And don't let people go on about all this autism special interest. Like, stop, okay? Does that mean everyone with a PhD has autism? Maybe. But it's very important to just like actually have a pursuit that interests you. And like these things in your mind that really resonate, if you have a sort of idea, image, or phrase that's kind of rattling around in your head, let this point you towards something that you need to research. Don't just brush it off, and don't just like read a Wikipedia article and put it down. Like, actually allow yourself to dive deep into these sort of pursuits that you're finding along your path, because this is really like, again, this is like the expression of your spirit that's really trying to do something individual and like something originating from yourself that's not part of your just your thoughts that you're picking up from, I think I should do this. Like, no, this is really something that you are resonating with on like a different level. So anyway, I hope that you perhaps got some value out of these little tips and tricks, and I hope that this was kind of entertaining. I don't know about the fangs. I don't know if I'll keep up with the fangs. I was a little worried about wearing them to begin with because I have a bit of a snaggletooth situation going on, but like, I've learned to love my snaggletooth because it's kind of cute. And, like, also it's, like, a matrilineal thing. Like, my mom and my grandma and probably my great-grandma had it, too. And then I think it's kind of cute that if my character, like, because of the way the fangs sit, my character also has a snaggletooth. So I thought it's kind of cute, but it's also, like, hard to talk with. But maybe I just need to focus more. And I also am planning to learn juggling. So please hold me accountable to that. If, like, 5 videos from now I'm not juggling in the intro to a video, please leave me hate comments. And as always, feel free to like reach out and say hi. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like not the best at replying. I just really hate the internet, but it's whatever. I'll get around to it sometime. Just thank you so much for all the support on these videos, guys. It means a lot to me that some of you guys actually missed me when I was not uploading, even though I was living my best life off the internet. But anyway, hope to see you in the next one, and thank you for watching.